friends, and welcome to another edition of Quick Tip Tuesday. And today I want to share with you how you can make your kids less picky of an eater. Of course, we all know, or most of us do, that we need to get a variety of foods in our diet in order to get proper nutrition. But there's a lot of other reasons why we maybe not want kids that are picky eaters. There are convenience reasons, and it can even cost more. Some people end up making multiple meals because half the family wants this, half the family wants that, or the parents want this, but the kids won't eat that. So you got to make multiple dinners. That, of course, can cost more. You know, it's kind of inconvenient to have to do all of that, of course. You know, sometimes maybe people would wish they could buy a sale item, but they know their kids won't eat that, so they're stuck paying for the more expensive item. And so having a picky eater can actually be pretty expensive, unfortunately, and fairly inconvenient. And even when it comes to other things, like say you want to eat out, or there's a church potluck, or you want to go to a friend's house for dinner, if you know your kid is a picky eater and they're not going to probably eat what they're going to have, you know, it can be a little bit inconvenient to have to make something again when you get home, or make something special for them, or you even have the embarrassment of, you know, having your friend wonder why on earth what they've made isn't good enough for your kid. So yeah, there's a lot of reasons why it may be better for us to try and help our kids not to be picky. Help us save money, you know, the convenience reasons, of course, and also to help, again, to ensure they get proper nutrition. So today I want to introduce you to my two girls. This is my daughters. They're 8 and 10. And I personally don't consider them picky eaters, but let's ask them. So, what do you guys like to eat?
Too many things to mention.
Is there too many things? That's good. So maybe the list of things you don't like is smaller?
Yeah.
Okay, so what don't you like?
A lot of the stuff that I don't like I haven't tried. Okra, sauerkraut.
How do you know if you don't like it if you haven't tried it? Some people
know.
really like sauerkraut.
That sounds horrible.
You never know. You might just like it. You used to not like onions, but you like them now.
Yeah.
So maybe it'll grow on you even. Sauerkraut's healthy too.
Yeah.
Guess we'll have to try it. What about you? What don't you like?
I don't like pumpkin soup.
Oh yeah, there is one soup that I make that you don't like. But otherwise, can you name any fruits or vegetables you don't like?
No.
Out of all the fruits, there's no fruits you don't like?
I don't think I don't like them.
No? No vegetables? Nothing?
I don't think so.
What about you? Any fruits or vegetables you don't like that you have tried?
I think persimmons are too sweet.
Oh, okay. So one fruit
Yeah.
is all you can think of out of all of them.
Yeah.
But pretty much everything else you guys eat.
Yeah.
And I've given you quite a variety, and you do like and eat all of it.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So out of all the dinners I make, even things kids wouldn't normally typically eat, things like onion soup or, you know, different things like that, they'll eat. So I do have some pretty good kids that aren't picky, and so if you do, I would really like to share with you some of my ways to help get them to not be as picky. So thank you for your help. You don't have to be here for the full video. You can go play.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so my tip number 1, don't get scared if it's already beyond this. If you have kids that are a little older than this and you can't use this tip, because there's several other tips that you know you can use. But if you don't have your kids yet, in my opinion, the best time to start is when they're babies. I was actually told this trick by my midwife when I was, you know, expecting and having my children, and she said, when you start feeding solids to your baby, don't feed them sweet stuff first, which totally makes sense. If we have a little baby and we want to feed them solids and we're excited about it, and a lot of people, if you have peaches or bananas or something, and then later on when you go to give them green beans or something like that, they're just not as excited about it because it doesn't have that sweet thing. So to get them started off on foods that they're going to, or trying to get them to like without, you know, having a sweet tooth even when they're still babies, is to try and give them foods that are not sweet first, and then give them the other things later. Then they'll like both. They'll appreciate the taste of the green beans and the peas, but then they'll also like the peaches and the bananas. So yeah, if you have a chance, start out as early as you can, even as a baby when they're first starting solids. And if they're beyond this, you know, point, like I said, don't worry about it. There's other tips that you can do to try to get them to be not as picky even if you're beyond this point. So number 2 would be to offer a variety. This is pretty important because kids don't know if they're going to like something like you just saw until they've tried it. So I never knew I liked avocados. My mom never liked them when I was growing up, and then I grew up and I tried them and they're really good. So there are lots of different things like that. If they try it, they can have a chance to like it or not. So offering a variety is a really good idea, and, you know, setting a good example. You know, if you want your kids to drink water, don't drink soda all the time. So if you can try and, you know, show them what it means to be a healthy eater and to eat, you know, a huge variety of things and things like that, that can help too. Because kids do learn from example. So if you can try and, you know, show them how to eat a variety and how to not be picky, you know, you go out to the friend's house and even if it's not the kind of cheese you normally buy, you eat it anyway, and then they'll see that it's okay. And when I say offer a variety, I don't mean just a variety of different types of fruits and vegetables. I even mean a variety in different things that you would normally eat. Like we go grocery shopping at a discount grocery store, and just to use juice as an example really quick, you know, they won't always have a specific brand and a specific style of juice, you know, that we specifically like and nothing else. You know, there'll be different types of juice that comes along. So one day there'll be, you know, orange juice with pulp, and then the next week it'll be without pulp, and then the week after it'll be orange banana, and then it'll be orange pineapple, and then it won't even be orange, it'll be tangerine. You know what I mean? And so to save money, we shop at the discount grocery store, get all kinds of cool things, way lower prices than we would normally pay at a, you know, full price grocery store. And we also get a huge variety of things. So when we come home with the different types of juice, they never get used to it being a specific brand and a specific style to where they won't drink anything else. So when we do go out to a friend's house or a birthday party or who knows what, you know, a restaurant or whatever, they'll drink whatever kind of juice they give you because it's not exactly the same every single time. Or like mac and cheese, certain people maybe like a specific brand name of it. Well, we eat macaroni and cheese once a week for lunch. They like it. I know it's not too healthy, so I don't want to give them too much of it. But when we do have it, it'll be like Annie's white cheddar, and then the next week it'll be Back to Nature, you know, Crazy Bugs or something, and then the next week it'll be Annie's, you know, aged cheddar, and then it'll be, you know, yummy bunny sauce or whatever. Each week it's different, so they don't have a chance to like specific a brand or a specific flavor of it every time. Again, it's changing, and so they get used to just eating that same variety of things, and then they can't want something specific. That way, when I do go to the grocery store, whether it's at the discount grocery store, or maybe the regular grocery store has a sale, whatever is on sale of the things that we usually would purchase, you know, we can get, because I don't have to specifically get a brand only to, you know, make my kids happy. I can get whatever I want and they'll eat it. So yeah, that's what I mean by offering a variety. This is really important. Number 2 would be to space out meals. This is pretty important. If we're constantly giving our kids snacks all day long, when they sit down to a meal, they may pick at it and be done with it. If we make sure they're good and hungry when we go to sit them down for a meal, they're going to be a lot more likely to try something they haven't had before, and even, you know, to eat the whole meal instead of just picking at it and having a bunch of leftovers that get wasted and thrown away. So if you can space out meals and make sure you kind of limit the snacking, that's a good thing for sure. That definitely helps them a lot. And beyond that even, the next tip would be to space out their favorites. If they think that if, you know, say they like grilled cheese a lot and you give them grilled cheese every single day, you know, they're going to get used to eating it that way. And then when you're like, come on, eat a turkey sandwich or something, they're not going to want to because they eat their favorite every day. Well, we can't eat our favorites every day. I mean, I really like pie, but I can't eat pie every day. So we have to space out our favorites. Make sure that, you know, the things we really like can be, especially if they're not healthy, but, you know, treats once in a while, and, you know, if they really like macaroni and cheese, you know, only once a week or whatever. That way you can get in other more healthy things in between. So yeah, spacing out their favorites can help a lot. The next thing would be to not offer substitutes. So say you have a meal and there's 3 parts to it, you know, some sort of a protein, you know, and then a couple of veggies or whatever. Say they don't like the veggies or whatnot, don't just make something special for them. This is definitely a pitfall I think a lot of parents fall into, and if the child thinks that if they throw a fit, they're going to get their way, and you're going to make them some sort of a substitute or something that they like, they're going to throw fits every single time. So don't give in to that. So if they don't like it, sorry, this is what's for dinner. So eat it or don't. That's your choice. So yeah, it can be a little bit tough, like I said, especially when a kid throws a fit. But just stick to your guns on that. Just, this is what's for dinner. If there's something they like in it, then they can eat those, and then avoid the things they don't. Because the next thing is to understand that they are individuals, and of course there's going to be things they don't like. And that's okay. So we're all individuals. We don't want to be forced to eat something that we don't want to. And a lot of times kids can have a rebellion to them. So if you force them, they're going to dig in their heels like a mule and be even more, you know, set on not wanting to take the thing that you're trying to offer them. So don't force them. If they get curious about it and try it and, you know, they like it, then cool, but definitely don't try to force it, because that could, you know, backfire big time and make them really not want to try it. And then, of course, there is the tough love thing, which I understand. It sounds a little bit contradictory if you're supposed to be understanding that they don't like certain things, but also giving them tough love and not offering substitutes. What does that really even look like? Let me give you an example. My daughter, the younger one, mentioned that she didn't like a specific soup that we make. Well, I just so happened to make that soup last week. So when I was dishing up everyone some, I know everybody else likes some, give them a whole bowl, whatever, and I made the soup and some bread. So when I was dishing up hers, I gave her like a half a bowl, and then I said, if you don't like it, you can fill up on bread. That's okay. One of the two things that we made. So she took her soup and her bowl, or her bread, and she mostly ate the soup, or the bread, but she did eat the soup too. So she ended up eating her whole half bowl, and then she came back and asked for more. So she ended up eating 2 half bowls for a soup that she supposedly doesn't like. That's kind of a lot, I think. So anyway, yeah, 1.5 pieces of bread, basically a full bowl of soup. She definitely got enough to eat, but I didn't force her. I didn't say, you have to eat that, or anything like that. Just, hey, if you want this, go ahead. If not, that's okay too. Just fill up on the bread instead. So I didn't offer her substitutes. I didn't make her some other dinner, you know, that we weren't having. But I was tough about it and said, this is what's for dinner, you know, that's all we're going to get. So she ended up eating it. So anyway, like I said, I didn't force her, but that was her choice. So that's what, you know, I would say it looks like to help push a child into trying new things and, you know, being willing to give in a little and know that they can't always have their favorites. Yeah, those are my tips on helping a child to not be a picky eater. And, you know, as you saw, my kids are really not picky eaters themselves, although they're not perfect, unfortunately, especially my older one. She's a little bit of a wimp. So if you guys have any advice on how to get kids to be tougher, I would love to hear about it. So hopefully I could help you, and then maybe you could help me. So I'm Frugal Green Girl, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.